Hi, Leo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your March 7th to the 16th, 2022 money and career reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Okay. There they are. So we have Justice, which is Libra energy, and we have the Empress. So there is something here where we're finding balance again in something, and we're bringing something forward into the world during this time. There is a real sense of the balance had been missing, and so finding that balance again is going to really help us creatively, intuitively, but also prosperously, abundantly during this time. So that's going to be really important for us. So let's look at the energy we have to be mindful of. We have the Chariot, which is Cancer energy. There's also a sense here of we need to be mindful of emotions getting out of hand. Now, this could be our own emotions, this could be other people's emotions, but there's going to be a real emphasis here on staying calm and staying balanced. And that's going to be really important for us, meaning that if there are people in our lives that go off on like this emotional like uproar or volcano, type of thing, we want to back away from them during this time because we need that balance. We need that harmony in our lives. We need to be just to ourselves, which is being discerning about the energy that we're letting in, because we are bringing so much forward during this time. We are creating and stepping into a new level, a new insight, a new idea, a new way of doing things. So let's see here. Holistic health. Excuse me. Now, this is one of my favorite cards. This is the root chakra. What's coming in is saying be holistically who you are. Embrace who you are, embrace what you need, look at your diet, look at, sleep patterns, exercise, everything like that. Let's be really good to ourselves during this time, but let's also be really open and honest about who we are and what we want from our lives and the way that we're moving forward, meaning that we're not trying to fit into somebody else's narrative. And that's going to be really important for us, Leo, is that we're not fitting into somebody else's narrative. We're embracing what we want, who we are, what we desire for ourselves, for this time, and for the bigger picture. Ooh, goodness. Bigger picture forward. These three is what Spirit is saying. No, these ones. Okay. And we have here the Queen of Wands, which is us. We're represented by the wands in the minor arcana. We're represented by the Strength card in the major arcana. We then have the Lovers, which is Gemini energy. We have the Six of Cups. We have the Six of Wands. And we have Cancer energy with the Chariot coming through again. So as much as we have to be mindful of emotional uproars, what we also have to embrace is our way of moving forward with our emotions, with what we want and with what we desire. So there's something here that's coming in from the past that we have to be mindful of, because it's going to kind of trip us up as we're moving forward. And there's such a brightness, there's such a positivity around us as we're going after what we want, because there is a sense of I'm being really just to what I need, to what I want, discerning, distinctive, dedicated. And it brings us to this place of real creativity, of real birthing forward, of what we're set on this earth to do. And I know that sounds cheesy, but that's what Spirit is saying here. And it brings us to this place of power and a new dawn and a new way of seeing things, a new intuition leading us forward. But also, we're really passionate about what we're doing. We're really passionate about what needs to get done, of how we're moving forward, of what is important to us and what isn't important to us. And it brings us to this place where we're starting to celebrate ourselves. And as we're celebrating ourselves, we have to be mindful of like old negativities, old, hurtful, hateful patterns that kept us held back in the past, coming forward now and saying, I'm going to rob away your success. I'm going to take away, excuse me, what you truly want, what you truly need, where you need to be. And what's so interesting here is that we have the number 6 repeated 3 times. So we can say, yes, the number of the beast, right? But 6 is a healing number. It is a caring number. It is a human number. And so there is this sense here of a real connection with what we're doing. There's a real sense here of the human element being so important in our work and in also our finances, in that creation of wealth and money and prosperity. So we're really reining in our emotions. We're really setting ourselves on being focused. We again have to be mindful of people who are just emotional tornadoes, emotionally just so all over the place, because they're really going to mess up the energy balance that we have going on here. And we have to be aware of that. We have to be mindful of that, because we're moving to what we love. We're moving to what we're passionate about. There's a sense of our angels blessing us. There's a harmony coming forward within us that gets to shine. And as we shine, we see ourselves more openly, more honestly. There's also a sense of authenticity. There's a sense of beauty in being real during this time and not being what everybody else expects. So there's a real sense of honesty and down-to-earthness about us during this time, Leo, which is really going to connect us with other people, which is really going to endear us to others, which our own personal charm is going to work really well for us during this time. We have the 9 of Cups. There's a wish coming forward. The Fool, we're moving onto a new path. The 7 of Wands is a sense of we fought for this. The 2 of Coins. Okay, so we're starting here with the need for balance, and that's going to be really important to us. That's why we're seeing it's not necessarily justice that's coming through so strongly here. With justice, it's the scales and the balance and the harmony. That's going to be very important for us. With the 2 of Coins, the 2 of Pentacles, there is a sense of eternal prosperity, but we need to balance ourselves because something is taking so much of our time, it's knocking us off balance. And as soon as we get that in balance, then something else is knocking us off balance. So this sense of calling back harmony into our lives, or taking time for harmony, even if we know it's always going to be busy, it's always going to be crazy. That's just the way our life is right now. It's making sure that we have our feet firmly planted on the ground. That's going to be really important. There is an energy here of stand up for what you want, stand up for what you need. It's kind of like stand your ground, but also be very mindful of who's draining your energy, of what's going on, of, games that people are playing, because there is somebody who just likes to rile you up to see what will happen, and also to knock you off your game, because if you're not on your game, you're less competition for them. So just be mindful of that. They see you as competition. They want you to not be on your game all the time because it's better for them. So be aware of this, but we're getting what we wish for. So we're really able here to stand in an assertiveness of ourselves, really embracing what we love, what we want, who it is that we are, but also taking pride in what we have done and what we have accomplished. Even if we know there's so much more we want to do, there's a real sense of I've done well. And that's what we have to tell ourselves. And that's where the 6 of Wands comes in. It's like, I have to celebrate my successes. I have to celebrate my prosperity. I have to celebrate what I have done, because it will be so easy to fall into negative mind spaces, into anxiety, depression, doubts, fears, chaos. That Spirit is saying, stop, and stand in pride of what you have achieved, because we're setting out on a new road. It's like we're setting up for a new adventure, a new way forward. And it doesn't mean that everything has to change. We could be like, oh no, I really like where I live and where I work and everything like that. That's great. But what we're going to see here is that new ways are moving forward for us. And we're going to see that there's an opening happening in our lives where it's like, oh, like I didn't expect that. And now we're going to see ourselves moving forward in a way where people might not always get it. They might not always get why we're moving forward like this, or why we're going after this, or what we want here, or how we want to move forward there. But what we need to do is remember every single hero's journey starts with first being foolish, with first, having people laugh at us. There is something new. There's a spark. There's an idea. There's something that we've always wanted that we're really starting to go after now. And I really like that. That's exciting. And it's like stand your ground for it, because everybody's going to have a different idea about what you should be doing and how you should be doing it. And it's like, oh my gosh, just stop. Like, seriously. Okay. We have the Five of Pentacles. So there's a poverty mentality. There is a fear of being out in the cold, and we're starting to see things very differently than we've seen things before. So there is a change in perception, a change in idea, a change in what we wanted, but we have to make sure that we're not being pushed out into the cold either by somebody. Like somebody isn't planting seeds of doubt or of fear or of chaos, and they're setting us up to fall. And I know that is not the nicest thing to say, but just be mindful about it. Don't take what people are saying to you like, oh, you're my friend, I'm going to tell you this, as they really have your best interests at heart. Be very skeptical. Be very skeptical of what you're being told, because somebody is going to very easily lie, and you're going to think, oh no, that person wouldn't lie. No, they're really good at lying. So just be mindful of this. And there's a sense of, once we really start taking our own counsel and realizing that we're worthy of wealth and prosperity, that changes everything. That sends everything, just in an absolute new way of looking at things. And we're looking at it now and we're like, oh, that's what I want. Like, that's what I need. That's the key. So there has been somebody who's been whispering in our ears, and they've been whispering lies. So just be aware of that. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Hierophant, right? Taurus energy. This is energy of somebody who is very authoritative, or thinking that the institution, the rules are always going to be right. And so this is something that we have to be mindful of, because we're going to almost put too much faith into this and not enough faith into ourselves or our own creative, endeavors and thinking outside of the box during this time, Leo. We then have the heart chakra coming through, play. We need to take more time to play, to laugh, to have fun, to embrace joy. It moves us then to our rooted energy, not rooted energy, but our tarot energy, which is the Fool. We have the Fool coming up now twice, which is really quite beautiful. There is a new journey starting for us. There is a new way forward. We're going to be surprised at the road that opens. And as it opens, like, don't think, oh, no, it's not the way it's supposed to be. See where the adventure takes you. Like, really seriously, see where the road leads. It might be a really small adventure. It might be a bigger one. It depends on where we are, right? But now it's time to go after it. We then have the Fool once again. This is the third time the Fool is coming up. So definitely divinity is tapping us on the shoulder and saying, take the leap of faith. Don't care what everybody else is thinking, what everybody else is saying. This is a time to, yes, care about the people who really matter and who really love us. But this is a time to jump, to go, to expand, to discover, and to really break down these barriers. It moves us then to the Ace of Wands. This is a gift just for us. This is from God's source spirit. However you see the divine, the universe, this is passion. This is creativity. This is insight. This is ideas. This is illumination coming in and seeing things so much more brightly, so much more like, this is the oomph. This is the reason I get out of bed in the morning. This is the fire in my belly that leads me forward. And then it brings us to the High Priestess. We're seeing things so much more deeply than we've seen things before. A lot of the veil has been lifted from our eyes, and we're not seeing things the same way that everybody wanted us to see things, or that we thought like, oh, it should be like this or it should be like that. No, the door is opening. We're seeing things so much differently, so much more powerfully, so much more beautifully for ourselves. And we're not being taken in by other people's lies and other people's like desire to be seen a certain way. No, we're seeing so much, we're seeing the truth. And that's going to be something that can shake us, can rock us, but that is also going to lead us forward in a very beautiful way. It's like, no, I'm not listening to your lies anymore. I'm not buying what you're selling. And now it is time for me to change. Oh, wow. It has to do with the poverty, right? With the sense of I can't. Now it's like, oh no, I absolutely can. We're changing the way we see things because more knowledge is coming our way. And the lie of that we couldn't, that's being expelled. Like, it really is. It's like, how dare you? How dare you make me think I was failing when it was really like a setup? Or it feels like that. So just be mindful of that, Leo. Okay. I hope this reading has resonated with you, Leo. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, the intensity, and the brilliance that is us, and not listening to others' nonsense. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Leo.